Howdy doody. This is my review of my game for the 24-hour video shop challenge. Basically, the challenge was you go into your game room and you pick up a game as if you're in a video shop or video rental store, which you'd pick up based on box art alone, and you'd have only that game for 24 hours to play. So basically, it's like being back in the day. You'd go pick something up and think, oh yeah, you've got to get your most out of this. And that's all you can play. My girlfriend chose me Rainworld because I wasn't going to go in and do it. I made her choose me one. Yeah, she thought the dude in the front was cute. If I remember rightly, she went, oh, he's cute. So, yeah. What can I say about this game? Well, it is a kind of survival Metroidvania, is what I would call it. You play as this thing called a slug cat, which is like part cat, part slug. I think it's a slug cat at least. Yeah, slug cat, it says in the back. Yeah, and you're in these like ruins, and you basically have to survive. When I say it's kind of like a Metroidvania, I'll explain that in a minute. When the game starts up, there isn't anything to it. It doesn't really tell you anything. This little yellow thing appears, and you kind of follow it, and it says like, this is how you jump, this is how you do that. But then that's it ends. Then it starts showing you random symbols. It doesn't tell you what any of these symbols are, and I'm burping because I'm on the Red Bull. Yeah, it doesn't tell you what any of that is. So you follow this thing, then all of a sudden you're just left to work everything out. All the areas are like connected via these like pipes, a bit like warp pipes in Mario. But that some of them they're really hard to see. Some of them, the ones that go to different areas are marked with like 3 lines, but then there's other ones which like can go up through and get you to different parts of the screen. It's really weird. Like the art style of this is unique. Whether you want to call it nice or not, I don't know. It's really impressive, but it's really depressing looking. Like the way it starts off, at least, it starts off with all kind of industrial machinery, and then you can get to things like into like the sewers and stuff. You do get the odd bit of green like foliage and stuff when you get up to the top bits of areas, but yeah. But the actual I didn't realize it was pixel art until I got really close to it, because the characters move like so smoothly. But yeah, as I said, it's a survival game. You basically you've got to survive in this world, but every time there's a torrential downpour, you die basically. So you go around the world and you have to find these chambers which you can sleep in and hibernate for the rain to pass. Which means you're on a constant timer, which is in the bottom left-hand corner. But yeah, there's no like kind of, there could be a chamber over there, or there could be a chamber over here. Once you've found them, they stay on your map, and you have to run back to them. But the map's huge as well. So if you're miles away, and don't know where they are, and you're running out of time, it sucks. So yeah, you end up dying a lot. But it's not just finding these chambers, you've got to keep eating to be able to kind of hibernate well. Basically, you've got to collect a certain amount of food, otherwise you can hibernate, but it doesn't save your game if you haven't got enough food. And your slug cat comes out of it starving, so he doesn't have much stamina, and his jump fails and all this. And that comes into the controls. The controls are bad in this game. They remind me of like old Prince of Persia or Another World or something like that, which doesn't work in a game where, well, I would say you've got to be quick, but you don't. You've more got to play it kind of stealthy to get around the enemies, because it's like a one-hit kill on all enemies. But to take it slow and then find things where you need to survive, it just doesn't work. If they'd taken away the just the timer and let you play the game, find these places to hide, and just eat to survive, that would have been much better. The only weapons you get in the game, you get like rocks and spears and things that you can throw at them, at the enemies, but you don't really get that much of them. So, and you can only carry 2 things at once in your hands, and yeah, it's a bad game. It really is. There's a lot of stuff there that could have made it good, but yeah, I didn't like it. When I say it's kind of like a Metroidvania though, it's not like you go get an upgrade and then you have to use that to go back to an area. You backtrack to loads of areas, but there's like these symbols that you have to use to open doors and lifts and things. But these symbols aren't things you collect. Basically, every time you hibernate in these weird chambers, you've got this like, level thing, and it moves up and down, a bit like the fight roster thing in Mortal Kombat. So it moves up and down that, so you get a different symbol based on where you are. So it doesn't tell you this at the beginning of the game, I swear. So I was running around for ages, getting everything I could, surviving, staying in my little chamber, go up the next level, go up the next level. I thought, oh, this must do something soon. No, I didn't know you needed them to open doors. So you'd get to a point and it'd be like, okay, well, I need to die 3 or 4 times to drop my level back down. So you drop your level down to go open this door, but then something would kill you on the way. So then you have to get your level back up. So you have to go and survive again to level yourself back up to get to this thing. So yeah, if they'd taken that mechanic out as well and just made it actual, like, items, it would have made it a much better game. Especially like with the zero direction to it. It's I don't know. It's the kind of game you have to play for a long time if you want to have to get good at it. So it wouldn't work well as a rental, and I wouldn't recommend buying it. It could have been a good game. There is a lot of people online who seem to really like this, and that might be reflected in why this is really expensive on eBay at the moment. So yeah, I probably shouldn't have opened it. But yeah, I don't know what else to say to it. It does. Apparently, there's over 1,600 rooms, spanning 12 diverse regions. I didn't get that far. I got to like the 3rd region or something in it, and I was lost. Also, the enemies. I think the enemies are kind of. I thought it was a roguelike game. I think it's a roguelite. I think some of the enemy placements are just random, like because you can be trying to get somewhere, but it warns you if there's like an enemy coming through a pipe. But you could go into a room and then every exit is just like surrounded by these enemies. And I think the health and stuff you collect in this, I think it's not infinite. I don't think it keeps respawning after a point. I think it starts to disappear. So I played it on the easiest setting as well and couldn't get anywhere with it. So no. I got to a point, I played about 6 hours of it, and I got to a point like I want to do something else, and I stopped gaming because I couldn't play anything else. That's my... Well, it's not really a review. It's a warning. Do not play this. Unless they ever update it and make it more like an actual game. Anyway, have fun.